Hello children, I am Ekta. Children, today we are going to learn about right angle triangle. These triangles are special because one of their angles is 90 degrees. You can find right triangles all around you in everyday life. For example, think about the triangular shape of a kite when you fly it in the park, or the corner of a book when you open it. Another example is the roof of a house, which often forms a right triangle. Right triangles help us understand shapes and measure distances. In this video, we will explore the important parts of a right triangle, learn the Pythagorean Theorem, and discover how to find the area and perimeter of these triangles. Let's dive into the fascinating world of right triangles. Learning outcomes. After the completion of this lesson, you will be able to understand what a right triangle is and its special 90-degree angle. Identify the parts of a right triangle: base, height, and longest hypotenuse. Use the Pythagorean theorem to find missing side lengths easily. Calculate the area and perimeter of a right triangle in simple steps. Keywords from this lesson are right triangle, hypotenuse, base, height, Pythagorean theorem, area, perimeter, isosceles triangle, scalene triangle, acute angles. Children, first let us see what is a right angle triangle. A right angle triangle is a triangle in which one of the angles is 90 degree. A 90-degree angle is called a right angle, and hence the triangle with the right angle is called a right triangle. Further, based on the other angle values, the right triangles are classified as isosceles right triangles and scalene right triangles. Let us learn more about the properties of a right angle triangle, the parts of a right angle triangle, along with some right triangle examples in this video. What is a right triangle? A right triangle is a triangle in which one angle is 90 degree. In this triangle, the relationship between the various sides can be easily understood with the help of the Pythagoras theorem. The side opposite to the right angle is the longest side and is referred to as the hypotenuse. Observe the right angle triangle ABC given below, which shows the base, the altitude, and the hypotenuse. Here, AB is the base, AC is the altitude, and BC is the hypotenuse. Right angle triangle definition. The definition for a right triangle states that if one of the angles of a triangle is a right angle 90 degree, the triangle is called a right angle triangle or a right triangle. Now, let us understand the distinct features of a right triangle referring to the triangle ABC given above. AC is the height, altitude or perpendicular. AB is the base. AC perpendicular to AB. Angle A is equal to 90 degree. The side BC opposite to the right angle is called the hypotenuse, and it is the longest side of the right triangle. Some of the examples of right triangles in our daily life are the triangular slice of bread, a square piece of paper folded across the diagonal, or the 30, 60, 90 degrees triangular scale in a geometry box. Now, let us see the right triangle formula. According to the Pythagorean Theorem, in a right triangle, the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two legs. Using this rule, the right triangle formula can be represented in the following way. The square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the square of the base and the square of the altitude. Hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus altitude square. Perimeter of a right triangle. The perimeter of a right triangle is the sum of the measures of all the three sides. It is the sum of the base, altitude, and hypotenuse of the right triangle. Observe the right triangle shown below, in which the perimeter is equal to the sum of the sides BC plus AC plus AB is equal to A plus B plus C units. The perimeter is a linear value and is represented with linear units like centimeter, inches, yards, and so on. Perimeter of a triangle ABC is equal to A plus B plus C units. Right triangle area. The area of a right triangle is the space occupied by the triangle. It is equal to half of the product of the base and the height of the triangle. It is a two-dimensional quantity and therefore represented in square units. The two sides that are required to find the right angle triangle area are the base and the altitude. Area of a right triangle is equal to half into base B into height h. Properties of right angle triangle. The first property of a right triangle is that it has one of its angle as 90 degree. The 90 degree angle is a right angle and the largest angle of a right triangle. Also, the other two angles are lesser than 90 degree and are called acute angles. The right triangle properties are listed below. The largest angle of a right angle triangle is always 90 degree. The largest side of a right triangle is called the hypotenuse, which is always the side opposite to the right angle. The measurements of the sides follow the Pythagorean rule. It cannot have any obtuse angle. It cannot have any obtuse angle. Children, do you know how many types of a right triangles is there? We have learned that one of the angles in a right triangle is 90 degree. This implies that the other two angles in the triangle will be acute angles. There are few special right triangles such as the isosceles right triangles and the scalene right triangles. Isosceles right triangle. A triangle in which two sides are equal and one angle is 90 degree is called an isosceles right triangle. So, in an isosceles right triangle, two sides and two acute angles are congruent. Scalene right triangle. A triangle in which any one of the angles is a right angle and all the three sides are unequal is called a right scalene triangle. Important notes. In a right triangle, hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus altitude square. The area of a right triangle is calculated using the formula area of a right triangle is equal to halves into base into height. The perimeter of a right triangle is the sum of the measures of all the three sides. Isosceles right triangles have 90 degree, 45 degree, 45 degree as their angles. Children, now let us see some examples of right angle triangle. Example. Find the value of x in the given triangle if the hypotenuse is 5 cm and height is 4 cm. Solution. Given hypotenuse is equal to 5 cm, height is equal to 4 cm, base is equal to x centimeter. By using Pythagorean theorem, hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus height square. 5 square is equal to x square plus 4 square. X square is equal to 5 square minus 4 square. X square is equal to 25 minus 16. X square is equal to 9. X is equal to 3 centimeter. Let us see another example. Given the side of a square to be 4 centimeter, find the length of the diagonal. Solution. Given sides of a square is equal to 4 centimeter. To find the length of diagonal AC. Consider triangle ABC, or can also be ACD, by using Pythagorean theorem. Hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus height square. AC square is equal to BC square plus AB square. AC square is equal to 4 square plus 4 square. AC square is equal to 16 plus 16. AC square is equal to 32. Sixteen into 2 is equal to 4 into root 2. AC is equal to 4 root 2. Thus, the length of the diagonal is 4 root 2 centimeter. Points to remember. A right triangle has one angle that measures exactly 90 degrees, called a right angle, making it special compared to the other triangles. The longest side of a right triangle is called the hypotenuse, which is opposite the right angle and always the largest side. The Pythagorean theorem helps us find missing side lengths by using the formula hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus height square. To find the area of a right triangle, use the formula area is equal to half into base into height, which measures the space inside the triangle. The perimeter is the total length around the triangle calculated by adding the lengths of all the three sides together. Thanks for watching.